Greetings and salutations, YouTube. This is Fragments of Memory, aka your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher. And lately I've been reading these two books. One of them is the Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell, and the other is Eyes to the Sky by Bobby Norfolk. Um, Joseph Campbell studied many myths of the world, and he postulates that all the world religions, philosophies are basically telling the same story, but with different faces. And so far, I'm reading the book, and it's very good. And what I really like about it is how he recognizes the human need for stories, just as Bobby Norfolk, a storyteller, does as well in his book, talking about his own life. So it's sort of a memoir slash telling a story. And I grew up as a big fan of Bobby Norfolk via this show in St. Louis called Gator Tales, and that spoke to me because I love stories. I like movies. I like television shows when I can watch them. I even love reading. That love for reading started with my mother because she read a lot, and she instilled that in me. And I realized how powerful stories and a narrative can be. And depending on which story you get, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. And stories are more than just entertainment or escapism, though they serve that purpose. They also serve the purpose of teaching and instructing and empowering an individual. And I think, there goes my thumb. And I think that people forget that Aesop, when he told his fables, Aesop wasn't just doing it to entertain. Aesop was also illustrating a truth, teaching a lesson, giving a message to those that heard it. Even some of the older fairy tales, and you'll find in the older versions, the ones that have not been sanitized by the Walt Disney Animation Company, you'll find that a lot of these stories were cautionary tales that, hey, there's danger in the world. Please check yourself. Please be careful out here. And we even go to Jesus. Most people just talk about the Sermon on the Mount and the crucifixion and all of that. But people forget that when Jesus taught, he taught in parables according to the biblical text. He didn't just thump you with sermons. He also taught you he taught you about life. He taught you about certain spiritual truths via stories. And I believe that even today we still need stories. We still need our myths. We need our fables, because I think they can give us perspective on the real world. I think Harry Potter has good messages in it. I think Lord of the Rings does. I think the Chronicles of Narnia do. If you put aside all the fantasy, there's still conflict. There's still lessons and teachings that can be imparted to the youth, and even some of us older people. That's really my 2 cents on it. What do you think about stories and their importance? Please give me a shout out. Peace.